Hello, you are with Weekly Tech Topic. I'm Nina. I'm with Peggy and Bob today. Happy Easter to all who are celebrating.
Mhm.
We take about 10 minutes to share what we learned this week. And starting with me, I wish to close a previous conversation, a use case where we stream from one Google Meet meeting to many channels where the person who is the host of the live stream is also the manager with permissions to the YouTube channels. We did that unique use case with Peggy, and she has also the ultimate guide on the YouTube and Google Meet site. So to finish this topic, I learned that when I stream to my client's site, you are seeing the Google Meet logo on top right. And this is because my clients are not paid clients to Google Workspace. So it's up to the choice to decide. One of my clients has nothing to say. It's okay for them, but for others, like in previous Hangout, you could see Google logo on all the videos, and the logo of Google Meet remains there even if you download the MP4 file. So mind this. And the actual thing I learned this week is about Google Education. I interviewed professors from the university, and I learned they're using Google News sites for interactive teaching. Check the link I'm going to add here under the video about the new report Google released this week. It's about Google Education. And with this, Peggy, to you.
Thank you very much, Nina. Happy Easter. Happy spring. What I've been following this week is this sort of feud is the wrong word. This kind of kerfuffle thing between Substack and Twitter, where Substack announced a new feature called Notes, and a lot of the tech press said, "Oh, this is like Twitter," because it allows the Substack authors to write short notes and respond to each other. It sounds like it's going to be very social. Twitter, then, they stopped allowing Substack to embed tweets in the newsletters. And then at one point, if someone shared a Substack link, you couldn't like that tweet and you couldn't respond to that tweet. And at one point, they were even marking the Substack links, the links to people's Substack newsletters, as potentially malicious or spam. It just seems, it was petty. There was no obvious reason to do this other than the person in charge of Twitter was unhappy. And okay, you own the platform. You can do whatever you want, right? You can say that nobody can post a link to anything. But I think it really highlighted the fact that you should not rely on Twitter as your sole source of promotion and interaction. I think it's really easy to fall into that. You have a platform where there's a lot of people active and it's good, but they could change at any time and you could lose that. So the moral is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's
Absolutely.
and be a wake-up call in terms of trying to diversify. If you have a newsletter that you want to promote, you need to get out there and try and find other ways to promote it other than tweeting, because that could go away anytime.
Oh, I've read your newsletter this week and your weekly update on your blog. I've seen don't put all your baskets on all your eggs in one basket. That's something we never learn, because we get to be used to some habits, like on the Google Plus, you remember, and now on Twitter. And I'm happy we have our own page dedicated to newsletter, and that we are slowly moving YouTube posts, communicating and engaging there. It's a real pleasure seeing Bob's big photos. It makes a lot of difference to the YouTube channel and to the interactive communication there. Actually, I've always wanted to get to know people more behind the videos and descriptions and links. So
I wanted to
Mhm.
mention when this whole thing was happening, the newsletter publishers that had their own custom domain, instead of using a substack.com domain, weren't affected by this because Twitter was obviously filtering on the word Substack. So I think it's something to also keep in mind, that it's really good to have your own domain. That way, you know, if you need to change platforms or something, people who follow the domain. And I was happy. I set a custom domain for my newsletter, which was on Review, which was owned by Twitter, and they shut it down. And then when I moved to the Beehive platform, and I could just use the same URL because I set up a redirect. So I didn't have to change any of my promotional links. But yeah, don't trust Twitter.
Yeah, we don't
for
trust
anything.
anyone, and we don't trust the chat GPT either. So we go live and we talk what we need to say, and it's already coded in the video. We then stock it on our on brand assets channels and on our domains. And Bob, what did you learn this week?
Oh, I just think it's so appropriate. We're talking about eggs, all the eggs in one basket, since it's Easter.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I've been putting a lot of eggs in that basket, because lo and behold, guess what happened? I have a third party loading my Twitter feed on my website. And guess what happened to the API? It doesn't work anymore. All right. So the third party basically posted a little note saying that, hey, they're recoding, and hopefully they'll get it up and operational sometime soon. So we'll see. I have tried posting more on YouTube. I don't know if that's what's going to happen with that. As a social media site, although I'm having somewhat pretty good success with my YouTube shorts. And another losing proposition that I've been involved in is ChatGPT. I've used it some more this week, and it really hasn't improved, and not like I was expecting it to. But again, when you get the raw material back from them, which is really quick, I might add, it requires a lot of work. And sometimes, in fact, I would encourage you folks to just use it as an outliner, not as a copy and paste type product, because it's so full of errors that I don't think you really want to do that, you know. In fact, I haven't used any of it verbatim. I always go through it and double check it. And it even that seems like it's more work than it's worth if I go from zero and do it myself. And I'm talking basically of just short abbreviated descriptions for things, not a long 500 or 600 word post. So take that for what it's worth. Hope you all, find your way through the constant change that we call the internet. Sometimes it's you can't stay on top of it all the time. And I think, Peggy, you're very wise, and Nina too, that do not put all your eggs in one basket. Use your website with your own domain. That's your safest, but things can still happen there. So just try to stay attentive.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Yes, Peggy.
I was going to say, the other thing I learned this week is the rule of 3 for backups. If anything that's essential, you should have 3 backups. And you should have, if it's like a business, 2 on-site, 1 off-site. So
Yeah,
basically,
Yeah.
multiple backups, not all in the same location. And that way, that's much safer if there's some catastrophe, so you don't
Yeah.
lose everything.
Yes,
Can I?
we have this backup chat we did. It's on the blog we have. Peggy is recapping this conversation. It's very nice. We have covered the hardware backup, the computer, the device, mobile backup. So yes, check the links for the March recap of the conversations. And Bob, yes, your closing words today?
My closing word.
Yes, you wanted to add something.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask a follow-up on that, those backups. Do you use solid state drives on that, Peggy?
Yes, we
Absolutely.
can continue, yes, afterwards. And on the blog, we have to comment on those because it's a long list. Yes, so we can also have the conversation continue below the video on the backup side too. And thank you to all watching. Please subscribe to our newsletter. I'm going to link in the video, and see you after 1 week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.